Learners entering the hall, please do so quietly. Thank you, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the class of 2019. The time has come. Valedictory 2019. Please remain standing for the national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. To our directors, principals, and special guests, to the teachers, grade 12 parents, learners, and our honored guests, the matrics of 2019, a warm welcome to you all. A very special welcome to Mrs. Tracy Voll, who taught many in this class from grade 2 to grade 6. I now call upon Mr. Richard Knaggs to introduce our first item.
A very good morning and special welcome to our grade 1 class of 2019, who will matriculate in 2030. They would like to dedicate a duo of songs to our matric class of 2019. Please join me in welcoming them to stage.
I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, though I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Just life, that's how it is, 'cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, oh, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
Thank you, class of 2030, for that heartwarming performance. Let's give them another round of applause as they leave the hall. Please welcome Mrs. Sylvia Steyn to the stage for the principal's message to the matrics.
That final song has such significance for anyone who ever graduated from Christopher Robb Pre-Primary. How special is that? Matrics, it has become tradition for me to, at valedictory, read the final paragraph of Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom as a special message to you. I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way. But I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I have taken a moment to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can rest only for a moment, for with freedom come responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk is not yet ended. Grade 12s, today we look back on the distance you have come, and we are proud. We take this moment to congratulate you before we turn our eyes to the future. The best of luck for the forthcoming examinations, and as for the rest of your lives, go out there and make a difference. We greet you and we salute you.
Thank you, Mrs. Steyn. Please welcome Mr. Rodwin de Klerk to the stage for the valedictory address.
Good morning, directors, guests, parents, staff, and learners, and a special welcome to our guest of honor, the grade 12s of 2019. Grade 12s, today is a very special occasion. It symbolizes that you are reaching the end of your high school journey. There's only one step left, and that's your final examinations, followed by a fast-track route to adulthood. So, what does the end of this high school journey mean for you? It means you will no longer be woken up at 5 a.m. by morning learning announcements. No longer will you have to attend sports practices and matches with the fear of possibly getting a demerit. No epic table tennis matches in the rec room. No more assemblies on Fridays. And there will no longer be a camp where all of you are attending it together as one group, which does have its advantages, like not losing a rap battle to your teacher, or paddling on a river as hard as you possibly can while still going backwards. On a serious note, the end of your high school journey at Parklands College means that you have been equipped with the skills and abilities to be successful in life. It means that you have been equipped to face challenges confidently and overcome them. You have been equipped to be mindful human beings who care about others. You have been equipped to realize that mistakes will happen along the way and that it's okay because you know that you will learn from your mistakes. You have been equipped to think critically and respectfully challenge the traditional thought patterns of society. You have been equipped to be the person that you are and that you want to be. And finally, you have been equipped to know that when uniqueness unites, you are unstoppable. As a group of young people heading out into the world, I could not think of a group more diverse, unique, smart, kind, and wonderful humans to take on the challenges that society will face in the future. It has been a privilege to serve as your grade head over the last 3 years. It has been wonderful to see how you have matured into young adults. Cherish the memories that you have made. Cherish the friendships that you have made. Hold on to the morals and values that you have developed. Most of all, remain the wonderful people that you are. To the class of 2019, you have made it. Remember the following. Remain focused and keep your eye on the prize. Remember the legacy that you want to leave behind and keep that in mind when frustrations tend to get the better of you. I would like to end off by making one last request. The request is that you finish your academic journey. The request is that you finish your academic journey as strong as you possibly can. Every journey has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It does not matter how strong you were at the start or at the middle of the journey. What is important is that you finish as strong as you possibly can. Make the sacrifices that you need to make in order to achieve your potential. Gary Blair asked the question, what is the difference between someone who achieves their goals consistently and those who spend their lives merely following? The answer is simple, the extra mile. So, go the extra mile as you finish your journey and you will reap the benefits. On behalf of your grade heads past and present, we thank you for all the memories and we wish you luck for your finals. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. de Klerk, for your very inspiring words. Please welcome Michaela and Demiso to the stage for their head prefect speeches.
Let me get my tissues out for in case purposes. Where are my tissues? Thank you. Good morning, parents, school, honored guests, and most importantly, good morning to the matrics. I have dreamt many times about this speech. No joke. I have actually had dreams about this exact moment, with a perfectly written speech. It was truly inspiring and moving. It even brought some people to tears. It was simply special. But let's be honest, the only person that's probably going to cry in this speech is me. So if I do, please bear with me. This might not be motivational or moving, and it's definitely not going to be perfect. But for the first time ever, I am speechless, and I think that says a lot. I've been blessed to have attended Parklands for 13 years, quite some time considering I've only been alive for 18 years. Parklands has been my whole life, and what a memorable school life it's been. As said in The Sound of Music, let's start at the very beginning. The thing I remember most about Christopher Robin is the smell of crunchies and custard as you walked through the door. How on Wednesdays, I convinced my mom to pack my own lunch because I didn't like spaghetti bolognese, and how every classroom had its own dress-up box, and how at break, I ran a few too many times into the swing poles and ended up in reception with a nosebleed. Maybe that explains my current mass mark. I remember aftercare with Ilse, where we would play house on the hill and let our imaginations go crazy in the pirate ship. Ilse, just to let you know, that hill is not a hill at all, but rather a bump in the grass. But I love how to us it was our mansion. At the beginning of this year, at the grade R graduation, Miss Roth read a poem entitled All I Ever Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten by Robert Fulghum. And it really stuck with me, and I believe that a lot of it applies to us today as well. It reads, "These are the things I learned. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say sorry when you hurt somebody. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Live a balanced lifestyle. Learn some and think some, and draw some and paint some, and sing and dance and play and work some every day. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go out into the world, watch for traffic, hold hands and stick together. Be aware of wonder, and remember the little seed in the plastic cup." Sorry. Little did I know that while I was playing hide and seek, teacher, and hunting for treasure in the sandpit, Christopher Robin taught me all these very important life lessons, and I'm so grateful for that. Then came primary school. I learned how to read, I got my cursive license, I got my pen license, and so many more important milestones. I told a few lies about how my gran was the Queen of Switzerland. And before you judge me, some people in my grade actually believed that. I remember lining up the girls at break and checking their uniforms before going back to class. I think that was my defining moment when I realized I wanted to be head girl. I remember in grade 6 when I discovered that boys existed, and when one tried to kiss me at break. But that only resulted in the teachers finding out and the girls no longer being allowed to pass the bin on the field or watch the boys play soccer. I remember how competitive our grade was with apprentice days and how my friends and I convinced our group to be called One Direction because of how much we loved the band, and how the only reason we won was because we had Nicholas in our team, who back at the age of 12 already had crazy business skills. And who can forget our grade 6 dance? High school. Around 1,000 days of our lives. 1,000 days of sitting at a desk next to the only people that are helping you get through double maths. 1,000 days of waking up at 6, trying to make ourselves look presentable. 1,000 days seems like a long time. You can meet your best friends that stay lifelong friends, or meet friends that you lose at the end of the month. You establish who you are and what kind of person you want or don't want to be. 1,000 days is a lot of time to make a lot of memories. You'll meet some loser, or you could meet the love of your life. You'll have time for mistakes because mistakes make the best stories and lessons. There's time for late nights blasting music as loud as you can in an overpacked Uber just because you can. Time to get stressed, overwhelmed, and cry. If you're anything like me, you'll cry more in these years than you will in your life. So many important milestones in what seems like forever. But then, one day, you blink, and it's all gone, and you're at valedictory. You come to realize that no, it's not like the movies. It's so much more and so much less. It's all over so fast, and suddenly your first day of grade 7 seems like last week. 6 days ago, you were getting your books ready for matric. 5 days ago, you were getting ready for the matric dance. 4 days ago, you got your license. Yesterday, you sat and realized that all we have left is finals. Today, you blinked, and tomorrow, it's all going to be memories. But wow, what incredible memories we have made. This journey would not have been possible without a few people, so I think it's important to thank them. To Michael and Alex, a toast to you. Apologies. Apologies, but they've been waiting for that since the matric dance. Gosh, you two are special, hey? Thank you for teaching me not to take life so seriously, for being the only people who can make me laugh till my stomach hurts, and for being honest with me when I'm being a pain. To the prefects, thank you for the incredible... Sorry, I'm missing a page. Found it. Let me just backtrack. Firstly, thank you to Mrs. Stain and the board of directors for this opportunity to be head girl. It has been a dream come true, and I'm honored to have served the college. Thank you to the school for voting me in and trusting me with this position. I will always be grateful. We are fortunate at Parklands to be taught by incredible teachers. So thank you to Mr. Fortain for ensuring our economics class is 100% prepared and for entertaining us with your dad jokes. I swear he has a list of jokes prepared for every lesson. Sorry. Thank you to Mr. de Klerk for always pushing me to get that 100% and tolerating my debates over my marks. You truly have been an amazing grade head. To Ms. Dodders, phew, you really know how to set some tough exam questions. But thank you for always challenging us to reach our highest potential and providing us an environment where we can turn our academic brains off and be creative. Ms. Bailey, let me just start let me just tell you a little secret. When Miss Bailey says we're only going to do one worksheet and then you can have the rest of the lesson off, she's lying. Because she has planned that worksheet fits the whole lesson. But I haven't met a teacher who is more passionate than you. Thank you for risking your job for us by using all your printing credits. Thank you to Mr. Pillay for giving me the opportunity to make incredible memories in Ireland, and thank you to Miss Gibson for taking on our grade. Miss van der Walt, gosh, where do I begin to explain the impact you have had on my life? Maths has been a subject that I have lacked confidence in, and to be honest, a subject I'm quite scared of. But thank you for seeing potential in me when I didn't see it in myself. You know exactly when I'm about to freak out, and you care so much to have supported me throughout this year. Thank you for your hugs and kind words. Miss Esterhazen, thank you for always having an open door for me to come to you about anything. Thank you for giving me the best advice, whether it be school-related or personal-related. You really have been like a second mom to me. To Miss Bierman, for some reason, when I first came to high school, everyone thought you were my mom. I still don't understand how that's possible. But from water polo to grade head to the best English teacher, thank you for making sure that we all the matrics got here in one piece. To my girls, Jade and Robin, and to our gym group. Our friendship started with a plan to be gym buddies, and at first, it worked really well. A few months down the line, our gym sessions turned into catch-up sessions, and now our gym group is used for absolutely anything but gym. I still don't know why we never changed the name of that group. I'm so lucky to live across the road from Robin and a 5-minute walk away from Jade. So this means that when crisis hits, these girls are the first ones there. Thank you for our incredible friendship, and I know you girls are going to go so far in life. Michael, Alex, you've had your moment. To the prefects, thank you for being incredible at what you do, and thank you to Mrs. Strauss for believing in us and backing us. Thank you to Mrs. Pillay for teaching us that we are prefects and not perfect. To Abby, gosh, I didn't think I would ever meet someone more organized than me. Boy, was I wrong. Thank you for always being by my side, and the world better prepare because Abby is going to be doing big things. To Dumi, my right-hand man, the lessons I have learned from you over this year, I will carry with me for the rest of my life. Your way of going about life is incredible, and I will miss your contagious laugh so much. To Liam, you have been my rock, my support, and truly my best friend. To think just 2 years ago we were house captains and telling everyone, no, we're just friends. Thank you for dealing with my moods. Thank you for letting me rant, and thank you for treating me like a princess. Thank you for giving me your heart and allowing you to trust me with mine. Thank you for being the amazing person you are, and also congratulations on Deputy Head Boy. I guess you were pretty good at that. To my mom, dad, and Mia, words can't explain how thankful I am for all the sacrifices you have made to make sure that I could stand on the stage today. You are the best parents anyone could ask for, and I hope I can provide my children with the same love that you've given me. Thank you to my mom for driving around and lifting me to school. I know how much you hate waking up early. Thank you to my dad for killing me in the gym, and thank you to Mia for making tea and closing my door when I'm already in bed and too lazy to close it myself. I'm going to miss seeing you all every day next year. Lastly, to the matrics. So my hope for this amazing class is that when you walk out of this hall today, after you go out tonight and celebrate hard, just take a moment to think back on this journey. As we enter our adult lives, start out by aiming high. Try and try again and again. I hope you find true meaning, contentment, and passion in your life. But don't ask me how you find it, because they don't teach you that in school. Thank you.
Good morning, learners, parents, honored guests, and most importantly, the matric class of 2019. I'd like to begin by congratulating the newly elected prefects, and I wish you well for next year. Selfishly, I was hoping that it would take a while for anyone to match the levels that we reached this year, but I have full confidence in you guys that you will exceed us. So, well done. It still feels a little bit surreal that I'm standing here giving this speech after the end of a 13-year journey. I don't think I'll ever get used to the reception that you guys give me, so thank you for that. I've come to see this grade as a family, some of us being here since the beginning and others joining along the way like me. But today we are united as the class of 2019 to celebrate our graduation from high school. I intentionally use the word celebrating because that's exactly what I want us to do. When I left my previous school in Sheffield in 2010, I was devastated. I remember crying all the way from my house to the airport. But if I knew the great memories that I made in Parklands, I would have danced all the way to South Africa. If that has taught me anything, it's that taking your next step is not about loss. It's actually about taking your next steps into the future. And I can confidently say that the best days are still ahead of us. I'd like to thank some people who have helped me on my schooling journey. So firstly, I'd like to thank my grade 4 teacher, Mr. Warren Fulyun, who found me, this is a true story, who found me doing arts and crafts after school and realized that my large frame could be useful in rugby. Over the years, I've developed a lot and I ended up becoming a pretty decent rugby player, I think. There are many memories from the rugby field that I'll never forget, like watching Junior run through an entire team only to drop the ball on the try line while trying to do an elaborate celebration. Or last year, when we were playing against Somerset and Simeon scored a last-minute try. I'll never forget that. Right. Yeah, so those are the memories that I've made on the rugby field, and I just want to thank my rugby coaches that I've had over the years, especially Coach Mark and Darren Fulyun. From when I arrived until now, I've seen Maz and Daz embarrass some very strong, athletic, and young men in touchies. You've still got it. What makes you guys special is that you not only teach us how to improve our skills, but how to be great men off the field. Now to the big dog of the sports department, Mr. Pillay. The years since you've taken over have been phenomenal. I've met Irben Itzebeth, Damien Delindi, Skumbuzo Noche, and Sia Kolisi. I've been to Ireland to play rugby. And I've been a part of new sports festivals at the school. All that would not be possible without you, sir. Your connections and ambition for the college are unmatched. I'll remember going to your office to do one thing and ending up staying there for hours talking about Man United's poor form or where school is going at the college. Thank you to you and Ms. Pillay for your support and love in the past years. To Ms. Bierman and Mr. de Klerk, who have been our school mom and dad since grade 10. Ma'am, thank you for always making English the highlight of my day, and I wish you well on your journey as a mother. Sir, you never taught me, but we share a strong bond, which mostly consists of jokes, but I have so much respect for you and wish you well for 2020. To Ms. Gibson, thank you for picking us up when Ms. Bierman had to leave. We faced some challenges this year, but we appreciate your help and support throughout the year. To Ms. Strauss, I think all the prefects will agree with me in saying that you have been our biggest supporter this year. You always helped us to stay organized and stay on track. Personally, I want to thank you for being an amazing history teacher. Even though I self-studied the subject, you went over and above to make sure that I stayed up to date and kept my marks up. Matric has been a challenging year, but I want to thank all of my teachers who consistently pushed me to achieve what I set out to. Mr. Dixon, you're always fighting an uphill battle, but but thank you for being a top maths teacher, and I hope you don't forget Joel's Joel. Mr. Duffield, you're one of the most extraordinary teachers I've ever had. I could talk about your amazing unorthodox teaching style, but I know that one day I'll forget the left hand and right hand generator and motor rules, but I'll never forget the lessons you taught me about life. to Miss Torbert and Miss Grobler. Because of you, I'm pretty sure all the hospitality students could island-style 3 plates with their eyes closed. And we thank you for that. To Ma'am Ntsadu, from the Xhosa Boys, thank you very much for pushing us all the way to the end. To Miss Stain and Miss Roth, I really appreciate your love for the school and your determination to always see us move in the right direction. You believed in us as prefects of 2019 and supported us throughout the whole journey, and we're so grateful for that. Now to my friends. Munchang, you've grown so much since I first met you. You're still naughty, and that will probably never change. But I've seen the way that you care for your family and friends, and I love you and thank you for your friendship. Bongs. When I met you, you still went by the name Bongalicious. I don't know where that disappeared to. But I remember when our friendship started under the rugby poles, we used to listen to rap music in the morning, waiting for everyone to get there. Bongs would do the Drake parts, and I would do the Rick Ross parts, because I was still big. I was still big that time. But I truly see you as a brother, and I've shared some of my greatest moments with you. Nicholas, you are special. In many ways, you are the glue that has held us together for so long, with your crazy plans and ideas. We have been through so many ups and downs, but through it, our friendship has only grown. With your ambition, I already know that you're going to be successful outside of school. Angela, thank you for 8 years of friendship. Over these 8 years, I've come to realize that there's probably no one that loves their friends more than Angela. I've lost count of how many hilarious moments we've shared. Your loyalty is what makes me believe we'll be friends until we're gray and old. Tane, even though you left us to go to Saks, I still back you. I cherish the moments that we shared on the rugby field before you left, but I probably knew that you were too good to be playing with us. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. Dames, I don't even know where to begin with you. You are the most generous and kind-hearted person I know. I don't know how your lunchbox feeds half of the grade, and you still look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You've been a big part of my life for a long time, whether it's been running on the rugby field with you or going to church with you on Sunday mornings. I love you, and I know that your friendship will last a lifetime. Marco, although you're not here, you're still a huge part of our lives. You left to England to pursue your dream of playing football with your family, and I pray that you and your brother achieve all that you want in life. Lastly, I want to thank Connor. Unfortunately, our friendship was in its infancy when you passed away, but your story will forever inspire me. Although I wish you were here right now to celebrate this moment with us, I know that you're in a better place. I love you. Gambino forever. I just want to say it wasn't always easy, not having my parents around all the time, but I want to thank all the parents that I had here who helped me when my parents weren't here. So to Uncle Peter and Auntie Soraya Liang, Auntie Gloria Mayongo, Christina and Naso Papas, Uncle Pepe and Auntie Tracy D'Ambrosio, Uncle Dave and Auntie Mandy Eubank, Auntie Deidre de Klerk, and Miss Anna Zodo. Thank you so much, whether it was cheering for me on the side of a rugby field or giving me a lift home. Thank you so much. And to any other mothers and fathers in the crowd who've ever done anything for me, I thank you also. Right. Robin. Our friendship probably didn't start off well since the first couple of years. I couldn't tell the difference between you and Sophie. I really don't even know how our friendship manages to develop since 60% of our conversations are laughter, 30% are bad jokes, and only 10% is constructive. I love you and pray that Stellies treats you well. Also, a quick shout out to Dank Gang, Jade, Robin, and Ebube. You guys are true clowns, but I can't wait to make more memories with you. To Michaela, Liam, and Abigail, it has been a dream come true to work alongside you because you guys are so encouraging to work with. Abigail, you're so driven, and there's nothing that you set your mind to that you can't achieve. Thank you for your love and support throughout the years. Liam, you've been my booty since grade 8. You were a machine then, and you're a machine now. I'm just glad that I got to play with you on the rugby field and not against you. Your humility is such an attractive quality, and I believe that you'll be successful in all you do in the future. Michaela, I've known you for the longest time, and I don't think there's anyone that can encourage me the way you do. In my 8 years at the school, I've seen you grow and become an amazing woman who takes every challenge with determination and, of course, organization. Thank you for 8 years of friendship. To Phil, you went from being my cricket coach, not a very good one, but that's okay, to rugby coach, to youth pastor, to friend. I will forever be grateful for the role that you and Jean-Marie have played in the lives of my brother and I. You have taught me so much about leadership and about God, and I pray that He would use you to bring more young people to Him. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone that has lived with or looked after my brother and I over the past few years. It's Uncle Justin, Auntie Beauty, Auntie Elizabeth, Uncle Robert, Auntie Tandy. You guys have made an impact that I'll never forget. Now to Sijabuliso, my brother. Sijabuliso actually means the one who makes people happy, and that's a perfect description. There's no relationship stronger than the one you and I share. Throughout all the years, you've been the one constant. In the 2 years that we were apart, I remember when you would call and update me on what was happening in WWE. If I speak honestly, you walked so I could run. When I first came to South Africa, I didn't know what cricket was, but my brother and I used to play in the garage. My brother was a spin bowler. He also taught me to bowl spin. And then in the years coming, I ended up playing Western Province cricket for that. In rugby, you played hooker, and then I played hooker. You wore a white blazer, then I wore a white blazer. You could probably see that as copying, but that's that, like little brothers do, but that's not what I was doing. I was following the great example that you set. I love you. To my mom and dad, I know that you'll probably find this on YouTube, so I just want to say thank you. When I was young, I struggled to understand why we were always moving around. And we couldn't all live together. But as I've grown, I've realized that the sacrifice that you've made for Sja and I to go to the school is probably the toughest, but also the most loving decision that you've ever made. I hope that we've made you proud in this 13 years. I have no doubt that you'll support me throughout my life. I've got no words to describe how much love I have for you. Thank you. I think it's very important that I thank God now also for loving me and placing me in this school, in this community, and in this family for a purpose. Thank you for blessing me with the gifts and talents to be able to glorify you in all I do. To the school, I encourage you to take full advantage of the opportunities that are available to you at this school. Join a club, play a sport, run for a leadership position, because you never know if you'll ever get this opportunity again. My dad told me a lesson that stuck with me until now. He said to me once, he said, in life, people can take everything from you. They can take your freedom, they can take your possessions, they can take your dignity even. But the one thing that no one will ever take from you is your education. So, thus saying, focus in class and don't give your teachers a hard time. Now to the matric class of 2019. Today is the first day of the rest of our lives. I want to encourage each and every one of you to not forget this feeling of accomplishment and inspiration in the years to come. Keep pushing and taking the next steps in your life. Don't let this feeling die, and with it your desire to do great things. If there's one thing that I can ask you guys to do, is to live a life of significance. What does that mean? It means to live a life that blesses and reaches out beyond yourself. Whether it's teaching, giving to a worthy cause, or helping to solve problems that will change the world. I'll leave you with this one quote from the late Nelson Mandela, which goes, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we lived, but it's the difference that we've made in the lives of others. And that determines the significance that we lead." Thank you. So please may Ms. Strauss, Mr. de Klerk, Ms. Bierman, and Ms. Gibson please come up to accept these tokens of our appreciation.
Thank you, Michaela and Dumiso. I now call upon the Deputy Head Prefects, Abigail and Liam. They have something to tell us about the gift to the college.
Good afternoon, school. From our matric fundraising efforts throughout the year, we have decided to purchase another set of marimbas for the college as a matric gift. It'll be a full set of brand new marimbas that will say Matrix 2019 on it, which we hope will remind everyone of the talent and the happiness we have experienced this year. According to oral history, the story of the marimba began a long, long time ago somewhere in Africa, where holes were dug in the ground, wooden bars were made to cross over this hole, and the bars were struck to produce the sound. That is, a sort of xylophone arose that worked by having the sound produced by wooden bars resonate within the holes. Subsequently, gourds were attached to the undersides of the wooden bars. Now it was the gourds that served as resonating chambers for the sound. Interestingly, the Zulu tribe is said to have legends of a goddess named Marimba, who created a xylophone with gourds attached to it. Marimbas originate from the roots of Africa and provide a solid foundation for the creation of wonderful, warm, and vibrant music. A marimba can bring a large group of people together in happiness, laughter, and appreciation. It can unite a group of people, even when we are all unique. We hope that through this gift, we can leave behind an everlasting legacy of fun, joy, and happiness in the college.
As the class of 2019, we understand the privilege that we've had throughout the years. We are grateful for everything that has been given to us, from quality education here at the college and the basic necessities such as shelter over our heads, food in our stomach, and a loving home. These are all things that contribute to our ability to do well in school, live happy life, and our success in general. These are all things that we acknowledge to form an integral part of our ability to be excellent and go on to do great things after our matric years. We also acknowledge that unfortunately, by nature of privilege, not every child has these necessities. We as a class of 2019 want to do our best to contribute to ensuring that as many children live a life that they deserve. It is for these reasons that for our charity this year, we have chosen Lutando Orphanage in Dunoon and Ubuntu Early Childhood Center in Atlantis, which have donated 5,000 Rand each. We trust that here our matric donations will make the biggest impact. Again, we want to thank the college and our parents for taking care of us, giving us all that we have, and loving us. We wish you all the best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Abigail and Liam, and the class of 2019 for your generous gift to the college. Please welcome Mr. Richard Nags, our Director of Technology Innovation, to the stage for the Director's message.
On behalf of the directors and principals, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the prefects of 2019 for their invaluable commitment towards their respective portfolios and for encouraging and motivating their fellow learners in a positive and enthusiastic manner. A very special thank you to our executives for the exemplary manner in which you all performed your responsibilities throughout the year. Someone once said, "Success is forged in the furnace of inspiration and a yearning passion for achievement." Strive on, for your potential reaches out as far as your mind's eye can see and your heart can conceive. Be yourself. Have the courage to follow what you believe to be right. Make the most of your abilities. Take your part where you have a contribution to make, and give back to society as much as you take from it. Go forward and enjoy the challenges that await you. Our best wishes accompany each and every grade 12 learner in the forthcoming examinations. Your blood runs blue.
Thank you, Mr. Naggs. Could Principals Leanne Steinberg and Chantal Lamb please join us on the stage for the medal presentation? Matrix, when I call out your name, please come up to receive your medal from Mr. Naggs and remain on stage for a photograph at the end. So our matrics who joined us in grade 1, Angelo D'Ambrosio, Bonginkosi Mayongo, Tiana Naika, Tiffany Scrowen, Jamie Stradom, and Adrian Tonkin. And then our matrics who joined us in pre-primary, Farah Esop, Nicholas Papavasilopoulos, Isabel Mason, Kiara Meerberg, Sean De Beer, Anae Murray, Shane Rosland, Robin Kaiser, Michael Oliveira, Yajna Ramdani, Michaela Beezer, Chelsea Hardy, Moon Chang Liang, Anthony Pazda, Sydney Smith, Jade Stanley, Ilsa Thomas, Armindo Correa, and lastly, Damien Eubank. Thank you to Mrs. Lamb and Mrs. Steinberg and Mr. Naggs for assisting with the presentation. Right, and on a light-hearted note, just before moving on to the last item, I would just like to mention the following. Thank you to those who have complimented me this week, particularly my new suit. When Mrs. Stain asked me last week to take up the duties as the voice at this week's events, I was very conscious of the fact that I was following in the footsteps of the great Mr. King. Super excited, I mentioned all of this to my wife, and she said, "You must get a suit." So off we went to the shops over the weekend, and in a particular store, my wife and daughter saw a magnificent suit made of a kind of velvet material and in color a deep, deep red. It was a thing of beauty, and they said I would make a real impression. By now you all know that I have rather conservative tastes in clothing, and I knew that if I arrived in that suit this week, you would all think that I had been smoking something. Again. When I said smoking something, or when I said again, I meant smoking something, not laugh again. So despite their nagging, and for the first time in 20 years of marriage, I put my foot down. Yes, I showed some real backbone, and I put my foot down. I bought the blue suit and the red one as well. That's called compromise. We now move on to the final item, and having had the chance to practice my French this week, I can tell you that this is the pièce de résistance. I now call upon Tatum Coleman to come to the stage. She will be performing Memory by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
begun.
Thank you, Tatum, for your exquisite performance, and thank you to Mr. Swanepoel as well. Please join me as we stand to sing the college song with the grade 12s. Let's hear you together as a family for one last time. Thank you. Please remain standing, and the grade 8 to 11s, please listen very carefully. I'm going to ask you to line up along the aisle to form a guard of honor for the matrics. I ask that you remain standing in silence until the class of 2019 has left the hall and I dismiss you. It is very important that there is no talking, no whistling, and no shouting, and no standing on chairs, please. Remember, this is a formal event. The class of 2019, as you leave the hall, Mrs. Gibson will be giving the girls an alumni pin and the boys will receive an alumni tie from Mr. de Klerk, graciously donated by the directors. We hope to see you at many future Parky events proudly donning these items. So the grade 8 to 11, please line up and form a guard of honor. And the matrics, you may begin leading out. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone, please return to your seats in silence. Thank you, boys and girls. This brings us to the end of the Valedictory 2019. Parents and guests, you are invited to join the teachers and the matrics for refreshments in the recreation room, and you are now free to leave the hall. Thank the guests, you may leave. Thank you. Learners, if you could wait a moment. Learners, please wait.